Good evening, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with your weekly live stream of all the awesome new comics that came out this week, today specifically. Not only is it New Comic Book Day, it is the beginning of a brand new year, January 1st, 2020. I got the date right. And we have a lot of fun things to talk about. It is rather a marvelous week of a lot of big new Marvel #1s. I am obviously wearing the wrong shirt for this, but here to talk to me about it is our master of Marvel, the ever so silent, except when he's talkative, Richard Rebello. And with that, we're going to dive directly into the new comics. There's not any major events coming up for another few weeks, though. Of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be coming out to Knowhere and checking out all the crazy things that we will be doing without any major events. But just keep a heads up that there are a lot of fun things coming at the end of January, some great local conventions in Southern California, etc., etc., etc. We know you're here for the new comics. Let's go directly into them, and we'll start it off in the A's, as we often do, with Action Comics. Yes, indeed, Action Comics is back for its 118th issue. Some great covers available, including that wonderful one by John Romita Jr. that some people on this live stream might not care as much for as others. Brian Michael Bendis still doing a great job on that book. We still have your big Project Xmas Mark Millar tile, American Jesus the New Messiah. Perfect to read, considering Messiah, the comic based on the prequel to this, or not prequel, previous series of this, will be soon hitting Netflix. Archie fans, 10 years of married life for Archie. Is he married to Betty or is he married to Veronica? You'll have to read up this fun issue to find out as we hit issue 5 of 6 in this great miniseries. Batgirl is back with issue number 42, the magical number and answer to all things in life, thanks to Castellucci and a wonderful Terry Dodson cover. Batman Beyond gives us more of the awesome Batwoman Beyond in issue number 39. Awesome Francis Manapul cover there. Great alternative color by Dustin Nguyen. Do we get the answer to who Batwoman is? Well, I'll tell you all this. She does take her mask off at the end of this issue. Make sure to grab this one. It's going to be a fun run. Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda continue on with issue number 5. And yes, David Nakayama has drawn Deadpool on there for a good reason. Those of you who are fans of Source Point Press, we have the 6th issue of Boston Metaphysical Society out this week. And, of course, we have Buffy and Conan still hitting the wall. Then, Stacy's Pick of the Week, the big one, Chip Zdarsky, freshly unbanned from Twitter, Daredevil, issue number 16. Let's talk about it with my fellow blind comic expert, Richard Rebello.
Not much to say, other than, if you're not reading this book, you should be reading this book. This is a great series. As I said in the FOC this last week, this is my favorite of 2019. Zdarsky is just doing an amazing job on it. Yeah, there's, you know, how Hickman and Cates and everyone else and Ewing are kind of like revamping and redoing all of Marvel. Well, Zdarsky's in on that as well, and you can see that from this and the Invaders, and it's just, he's just taking care of it at the ground level, and it's done beautifully. It's actually, I think he's doing it the best. It's phenomenal. I wish they'd stop pulling Chichetto from the artwork, but not to say that the interior artwork on this isn't good. It's just, he has a way of putting into images of what Zdarsky's trying to tell in the story, and it's phenomenal. But read it, catch up. You have plenty of time because unfortunately the next issue is in February.
Oh.
So, but yeah, it's a killer book.
Moving on, Dial H for Hero has a wonderful piece of American Splendor in that beautiful Joe Quinones cover as we hit the 10th issue on that series. Dr. Doom hitting issue number 4 with an awesome Marvel X variant of Old Man Doom. We're then going to jump to, yes, Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor's Holiday Special, issue 2 out, and that is indeed the local comic shop day variant right there. Gutter Magic, the 4th issue from Source Point Press. Well, Harley Quinn hits, guess what number I'm thinking of there, Richard?
69, dude.
69, dude. Mark Russell, I'm sure, would appreciate that joke. Well, Frank Cho has a wonderful variant that celebrates our Happy New Year as we enter 2020. Then there's the big one, my pick of the week. The one I never would have guessed would have been my pick of the week, starring one of my least favorite Marvel characters. Yes, Matthew Rosenberg has made Hawkeye cool in Hawkeye Freefall, a new series not only with the great and absolutely delightful Matthew Rosenberg writing it, but the unbelievable Otto Schmidt, the Siberian master of comic book artwork, doing the interiors. This is a really cool one, but as much as I would love to talk it up, I'm going to let our own sharpshooter, Richard, discuss it with the great variant by Elizabeth Tork he's holding.
Again, not much to say because we discussed it not too long ago on the FOC, other than I think I was in the same boat with Matthias of just kind of not going to get this one, and then we both read it together and decided to pick it up, put it in my pool. You get a new Ronin, so that's totally worth it right there. And it's not, well, we don't know who it is.
Yeah, those last 2 pages we thought that we were going to see in the FOC live stream were incorrect. That is the end of the book, and it was a good ending.
And I think they're just pushed those 2 pages because they're probably a reveal to issue 2 or something like that. But yeah, it's a fun one. It's entertaining. Rosenberg's writing it, and I did like what he did on the X-Men before Hickman took it over. So that was kind of one of my bittersweet moments. I was like, X-Men's finally good, but they're going to end it, and then I was excited that Hickman was actually going to reboot it. So yeah, he's now on this book, and the artwork's really fantastic. And like I said, get a new Ronin, a new character.
What other characters do we see in Hawkeye Freefall number 1?
You get Falcon, Winter Soldier. Who else is in this? There's
one of the Night Nurses.
Yeah. Night Nurse, and there's a couple people in this. I'm trying to remember everyone.
I think those are the big 2.
The Hood.
Oh yes, ooh, Red Hood. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
so,
fun book.
There's plenty left on the shelf, and like I said, there's this one variant.
It's a beautiful variant. IDW makes a statement this week with their new comic series, I Can Sell You a Body. Does that mean that IDW is selling bodies? No, it doesn't. But it is selling comics, and this fun new one from Ryan Ferrier and George Cambedes is going to be an interesting one with a rather unexpected last page. I think Richard would concur. Once again, incoming, something I always have to talk up, the big thing that's going to start the upcoming Empire event. You get a little taste of every part of the Marvel Universe in this amazing anthology book with some of the top creators at Marvel all doing some fun little bits. I personally love the Fantastic Four one. What was the other bit we were talking about that was really fun in there? I think, well, obviously the last page we can't hint at in this, but trust me, when you read this last page, you'll want to talk about it. It is awesome. Yes, we will throw a Hawkeye in there for you, Ken. Moving on, Justice League Dark has a beautiful, beautiful Simone Bianchi variant featuring Wonder Woman Zatanna and Detective Chimp. We have The Klaus. For those of you who have not left Christmas yet, this wonderful one-shot by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora, yes, the same Dan Mora who does Once and Future, is a great Advent calendar-esque tale. Then we hit the lovely Lois Lane on issue number 7 of the Great Greg Ruckus series with Mike Perkins on art. Issue 7 of 12 right there. Lucy Claire Redemption still showing it up on the new wall. This wonderful and unique werewolf tale is nearly as cool as my favorite Dawn of X book, Marauders, hitting issue number 5. We have Matteo Loli back on artwork, as well as a great variant homaging the Dark Phoenix saga. Let's go to the pirate mutant himself, Richard, to talk it up.
Okay, first off, I know I addressed this with Matthias, but Marvel, don't switch the cover after FOC.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover, and I actually glad I was able to get one. But I was really disappointed after I ordered the wrong cover. Anyway, fun book. It's my top 2. I still got to go with X-Force, but this is still a fun, entertaining book. This one seems to be the funny, comical adventure series of the 6. X-Force is, basically the brute force, action-packed one. So get both, pick what you like. But this one's a fun one, and there's obviously some great Kitty Pryde moments in here, along with Emma Frost.
Speaking of Frost, wasn't there another great Frost in there?
Yes, there was. Her brother was in this.
Finally, he gets some real story again.
And just like the way they're writing Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, that was actually really funny as well. So it's a comical, really fun read, and it's moving the story along as they're doing the basically bidding of Krakoa for the outside world. All
right. Great series, as always, the best of the Dawn of X titles. Don't listen to Richard, it is the best. Nomen Omen, issue number 4 out of Image. Loving this series. Well, Punisher Soviet hits issue number 3. Talk a little about Garth Ennis's and Jason Burrows' dark tale. And that's saying something, considering Punisher is normally quite dark.
Yeah, this one, it's a fun, good Punisher series. If you're familiar with Garth Ennis's work, you know how mature he could be, not only in the violence section of the content, but just the language and everything. And this one really ratchets it up. Issue 2 left off with the character that everyone thought was the Punisher, like as he was, taking out the Russians, telling his backstory, and it is violent. It is shocking. It is good to have the Punisher back. And if you're not reading this and you're a fan of the old Punisher, I really suggest catching up. It's a great read. We're only on issue 3, and I think it's a five or six.
I believe it's six issues. Part. Yeah.
I'm gonna be bummed when it ends. Hopefully they give Garth another shot at another.
Garth tends to always return to Punisher.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So quick question from the comments: what is your favorite and least favorite New Dawn, and I'm presuming that means Dawn of X book, Pirate Richard?
My favorite, X-Force.
And least favorite?
Least favorite, Excalibur.
Oh. Okay.
I have to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously my favorite is Marauders. I gotta say my least favorite is probably Fallen Angels.
Fallen Angels?
Yeah.
I was going back and forth between that and New Mutants, but...
Yeah. But I mean, they're all good books. That's the wonderful thing about Dawn of X. As opposed to the amazing Red Hood and the Outlaws, which is always an awesome piece of DC, as Scott Lobdell continues in tale that we finally get Jason Todd's former allies back in on. Moving forward, we have Spider-Man and Venom Double Trouble, issue number 3 out this week. Star Wars number 1. Yes, you heard me right. Star Wars number 1. Charles D. Soule back with Jesus Size, doing more Star Wars. This takes place literally right at the end of Empire Strikes Back, dealing with all of the interesting emotional drama and things that really you just didn't get picked up too heavily in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I mean, sure, there were Shadows of the Empire and a lot of other great content that's existed before, but things I didn't even really think about, like how did Luke recover and deal with missing a hand? What's Darth Vader's big thing now that he truly realizes that he has children out there and alive in the universe? What's his emotional response? And better yet, what's it like having Lando drive the Millennium Falcon for the first time in decades? That was a super exciting one that I really love. There's a lot of great variants available, including the wonderful party variant, the Empire Strikes Back variant, the wonderful movie variant, the blank variant, ultra detailed. And if you purchase it, you also get an awesome Adi Granov print of Empire Strikes Back. Beautiful, absolutely amazing piece right there, free with purchase of Star Wars. And I will also point out other great variants like that Arthur Suidam, the premiere variant, and of course the one per store black and white sketch of the party variant featuring Jackson, the Marvel Star Wars rabbit. Moving on, Superman gets a 100-page giant out this week. Well, Swordmaster continues post the events of Attack on Atlantis, or the prelude to Atlantis attacks in issue number 7. No longer having Greg Pak on the series. It's going to be an interesting read. We have Avengers Defenders Tarot, which is written by the great Alan Davis, artwork by Paul Renaud, which means it has that beautiful look inside, and it has just that, Avengers and Defenders fighting each other and fighting a greater threat that you'll need to read the book to find out. Terrifics hits issue number 23 this week, the longest running of the Dark Knights Metal spin-offs. Thor is then taken over by Donny Cates and Nick Klein in an absolutely amazing new story. We have a lot of great covers available on this. I'm just absolutely in love with all of this. Thor is freaking awesome. And we get some amazing sidekicks we'll talk about briefly in this great one. So joining me as we talk about Thor is our own demigod of thunder. So what were your thoughts on Thor?
I loved it. You had Donny Cates taking over one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe, and it delivers.
I love that they even put other very powerful characters from the Marvel Universe in there.
Very, very powerful characters, a whole bunch of them. And you don't have to wait to issue 2 or 3 or 4 like usually on Donny Cates. The ending of this is...
yeah. There's so much I want to say, but we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't been one of the people that have already picked it up and read it, or got the leak online, something like that, or read all the spoilers from other people online, don't miss it.
I think we can say that Thor gets very cosmic in this, and it ties into a lot of what Donny Cates has already been writing in the Marvel Universe. Both very, very good things.
Yeah, if you thought being Thor, then the Allfather was
the
powerful,
King of Asgard,
the King of Asgard being powerful enough, he gets more, and it's insane. Yeah. I loved actually the opening with the throw of the hammer across the entire universe. A little bit of Sharpie on there. Yeah, that was
a good way of just
hell of a throw.
Yeah.
And then the short throw was actually even, I thought, cooler. The little spat with his brother.
Yeah.
So it's a fun one. There's a ton of great covers. It was really hard to decide which cover to go with. But
George wants to know if it has Thory.
Thory?
Yeah, Thor's dog.
Not yet.
Yeah,
not that I didn't notice.
Yeah. I didn't catch it. It might have been in the background
panel.
Donny
Cates said he's gonna put it in there.
Donny Cates will probably kill off.
Yeah, he did kind of make a crude joke about killing off dogs in his Marvel YouTube video earlier today.
Yeah, well, I mean, he shot Lockjaw in the head, but hey, he brought Lockjaw back. In fairness.
Yeah, so we'll see that. He did also promise that he's gonna make him the Frog Thor. I hope that's a joke.
I don't know. I mean, I'll put it this way: no matter what, as much as I love Jason Aaron's run on Thor for the last 7 years, this was fucking awesome, and it actually wonderfully denotes some of the Jason Aaron moments. So, one huge one that was very much a King Thor moment. But no, I'm happy to see where this goes. Donny Cates, you do not want to be missing out on this. This is not one you're going to want to be fishing a second printing out of us for a month from now. Come grab the first printings now. A lot of great covers.
I honestly think this is the one that Donny Cates can really put himself completely, like, this will just cement his legacy.
Yeah.
I know he's done amazing with Venom, Guardians, all that stuff, Carnage, but Thor's the one that you just become
think we're going to see some Null in this?
It's possible. I don't know.
Okay,
There's the whole incoming thing, and he's still writing Null and Venom, so
Venom and Carnage fans, maybe this might be something you need to put your eye on too.
Yep.
So awesome one. I'm really digging it. And you know what, Carlos? Yes, if you come in a Thor costume, you will get a discount on Thor #1. I will make that happen.
10 cents off.
We'll figure it out. It depends on how good the costume is. Yeah. All right. We'll see you then. Cool. So moving on. Let's see what else we have. We have a little bit of Touching Evil, another Source Point Press book. They are just pumping them out this week by Dan Doherty. IDW's got 2 wonderful covers for Transformers issue number 15. Nothing better than a bit of Megatron right there. Moving on. Web of Black Widow wraps up. I believe this wraps up Web of Black Widow right here with a beautiful cover. That is the year 1 origin of Black Widow by Jodie Hauser. Perfect to get you set up for the upcoming movie. And then, and then we wrap up actually with X-Men number 4. There is an alternate cover that we haven't yet got in. Hopefully we'll get it in soon, but here is our main cover. And we're going to report on our classic X-Men footage live as the Krakoan consulate enters America through reporter Richard.
I mean, just look at this cover. You have Apocalypse, Magneto, and Professor X looking suave and debonair. They're laying down the law without being brutish. I mean, even Magneto, he just basically is Magneto, but through his words this time instead of actually taking action, which is awesome.
It was a very talking heads issue, I would say.
It is. This one's become like the political driving force of the Dawn of X titles, I think. Basically, the political, the geographic, all that stuff, setting up everything for Krakoa and how they deal with the outside world. But they let the humans know that they're not going to be pushed around anymore. And they do it in one of the greatest, it's just classic in some of the lines. And there's not to say that there's not action in this, because there's, I'm drawing a total blank, Cyclops and Gorgon were there as the bodyguards, and boy, they just lay down a whooping.
There's a nice little blast there out of the optics.
If this was a Max series, it would have been Punisher level whooping.
Yeah. I honestly can't get over Francis Lanelliu doing that wonderful somehow shoving Apocalypse into a suit that is obviously too small for him.
Yeah, it's amazing. It took me a while. I was like, is that Magneto?
The new year next Wednesday, and thank you all for watching. We hope we'll see you in the shop later this week. If we haven't already seen you, have a nice week and enjoy the comics. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year.